Ahead of us lies a journey into 20 worlds yet to be revealed, realms of chaos, beauty, fear, and glory. These are not just games, they are the future of gaming itself. So get ready, because this list will take you beyond imagination. Kojima's new teaser makes it clear this isn't a single tale, but an anthology of nightmares, each chapter shaped by a different creator's voice. One vignette, Knock, taps directly into Kojima's own fear of that simple, skin-prickling sound on the other side of a door. In the footage, a woman crouches in a cramped, candlelit space as the knock reverberates, each echo tightening the air until you can practically feel the walls inch closer. Built in Unreal Engine 5, the imagery leans into pure atmosphere rather than jump scares, letting darkness, silence, and suggestion do the heavy lifting. There is no release window yet, only the promise of distinct horrors stitched together by a single, unnerving heartbeat. This December, the frontier opens again with a story carved from vengeance and survival. You step into the role of Solek, a warrior of the Turong clan who wakes after an ambush to find the Ash clan working alongside the RDA and everything he loves in ruins. The journey pulls you through scarred stretches of Kinglore Forest and into a new sub-region known as the Ravines, where shattered roots and rock canyons hide the truth behind the attack. As Solek tracks scattered family and lost honor, the expansion sharpens the series' strengths, blending sweeping bioluminescent vistas with the intimate brutality of guerrilla skirmishes. From the Ashes itself releases December 19th, 2025, aligning with the film's debut and setting the stage for a Na'vi retaliation written in ash and blue fire. The classic time-hopping odyssey returns with a clearer compass and a handcrafted soul. Reimagined trims the meandering side paths that once pulled you away from the main quest, then replaces that lost weight with new scenarios that enrich the world and its history. The visual shift is striking too, trading HD 2D for a diorama look where towns, temples, and wind-bent fields feel like lovingly sculpted miniatures come to life. Quality of life changes smooth the grind without dulling the spirit. Enemies now roam visibly on the overworld, an auto-defeat option lets you swat aside weak encounters. The dual vocation system Moonlighting allows characters to equip two classes for deeper builds, and the interface has been refreshed to keep menus as snappy as the adventure. It is the same sprawling voyage through eras, but cleaner, warmer, and easier to love.
A group of young heroes embark on a journey to reclaim.
Welcome to a Lilliputian life where teacups become hot springs and spice jars turn into lantern towers. Animula Nook shrinks you down and sets you loose in a cozy, whimsical world built from oversized everyday things. You collect sunlight, raindrops, and breezes like resources, craft tiny homes from found objects, and befriend the curious folk who share these pocket kingdoms. What begins as quiet puttering grows into a creative rhythm of gathering, decorating, and repurposing, turning kitchen shelves into cliff walks and windowsills into breezy plazas. The game is confirmed for PS5, Switch 2, and PC with support for single-player, online co-op, and cross-platform multiplayer, letting friends drop into your miniature masterpiece. A bounty hunter binds with the parasite LUCA, and the line between power and possession thins to a thread. Decades earlier, in 1995, the Project Retrograde expedition fractured a subterranean world under the parasite's influence. Now, those old wounds split open again, You descend into ancient ruins with a toolkit of scavenged weapons, puzzle-laced chambers, and abilities that bloom from the symbiote inside your veins. Combat leans gung fu-centric, a dance of close-quarters aggression, precise resource use, and parasite-fueled counters that turn survival into choreography. Unreal Engine 5 gives the grime and stone a cold sheen while the lore drips in slowly, room by room, until you realize the thing whispering guidance might also be rewriting you. This is survival horror with a pulse you can feel in your teeth. Equal parts archaeology, infection, and reckoning.
All our sacrifices! All ruined!
The cult favorite gunslinging spectacle returns, not as a simple update, but as a full rebirth. Bloodheat rebuilds the 2022 Gungrave GORE from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5, modernizing every element, from the weight of animations and pacing of battles to the flow of levels themselves. Once again, you step into the role of Beyond the Grave, the resurrected Brandon Heat wielding the twin Cerberus pistols and dragging the towering Death Hauler coffin into every firefight. The heart of Gungrave, that explosive bullet ballet, is still the spine of the game, but this time the transitions between moves are smoother, combos are sharper, and battle arenas offer more freedom with branching routes and optional encounters. A story that writes itself, but also threatens to trap you inside its pages. Chronoscript, the endless end, casts you as an editor who accepts a strange manuscript and suddenly finds himself pulled into its living world. The experience unfolds across two layers: a shadowed 3D manor filled with secrets, and hand-drawn 2D pages where ink, words, and imagination form entire landscapes. Together, these perspectives weave a reality where you are both reader and character, both witness and participant in a tale that has been unfolding for 1,000 years without closure. The game's tension thrives on this duality, solving puzzles, uncovering missing chapters, and confronting metaphors that bleed into flesh and blood threats. Hoyoverse trades sprawling action RPGs for something unexpectedly cozy, a galactic life sim where your canvas isn't a town, but an entire planet. In Petit Planet, you nurture worlds like living diaries, planting, fishing, crafting, and cooking, while populating them with adorable neighbors. Every corner pulses with music and warmth, but the twist is Luca, the planet's vitality system, which lets you reshape the very skies, terrains, and landscapes themselves. With Luca, you can transform clouds into drifting islands, tint skies with new hues, or grow forests that shimmer with alien glow. Beyond the personal, a galactic bazaar hub connects your creations with others, while a whimsical space car lets you explore nearby islets to gather recipes, rare items, and secrets. Fast, destructive, and tactical, Pattern Zero reinvents the first-person shooter by making the battlefield itself your weapon. Here, maps aren't static arenas, but canvases you can tear apart and reshape in real time. Breach walls, collapse ceilings, or carve new sightlines to outthink and outmaneuver your opponents. The hook isn't chaos for chaos's sake, but creativity. Teams must balance resource use, utility tools, and a rich arsenal to control not just where the fight happens, but how it unfolds. Abilities are tied to an economy system, encouraging strategic decisions on when to fortify, when to demolish, and when to strike. The developers describe it simply: the map is your weapon, and everything flows from that principle. Nintendo's legendary strategy saga threads a new chapter on Switch 2 in 2026, this time weaving its battles into a mythic tournament. Fortune's Weave centers on the Heroic Games, a brutal gladiatorial contest overseen by the Divine Sovereign, who promises to grant the winner's greatest wish. New heroes step into the spotlight: Kai, Theodora, Dietrich, and Leda, each carrying their own secrets, ambitions, and reasons to fight. The tournament structure gives the story an edge of spectacle, but the Fire Emblem DNA remains: tactical battles where every move shapes relationships and destiny. The trailer even hints at continuity with Fire Emblem: Three Houses, as Sothis herself appears in a throne room, suggesting deeper mythological ties.
I won't let you hurt her!
I only want to fight so I can save my father's life.
With this blade,
My full strength.
Step into a decaying research facility where every bolt, every broken panel, and every flickering light is a puzzle waiting for your hands. The lift calls itself a supernatural handyman simulator, but beneath that quirky label lies a slow burn mystery. You play as a lone repair technician tasked with bringing life back to this abandoned retro-futuristic complex. The titular lift, your only way deeper, remains locked until you restore its surrounding systems, forcing you to tinker with machinery, rewire circuits, and piece together forgotten technology. Its style leans into eerie, faux Soviet sci-fi, filled with brutalist structures, surreal architecture, and an atmosphere soaked in Cold War paranoia. Each fix you make doesn't just repair a system, it reveals fragments of a story, hinting at the event that turned this place into a ghost facility. Music becomes your weapon, your shield, and your story in People of Note, a game that fuses turn-based RPG with the heart of a stage performance. You play as Cadence, a young singer rejected from the noteworthy song contest. But rather than fade into silence, she sets out to form a band, challenge the conventions of her world, and bring harmony back to a land drowning in chaos. Battles unfold not as fights, but as concerts. Every move is tied to rhythm. Every ability shaped by genre, and mashup attacks combine bandmates' styles into dazzling performances that can sway the flow of combat. The world itself is built on music. Entire regions embody different genres, from gritty, rock-driven cities to neon-lit electronic districts and soft, dreamlike acoustic forests.
I gotta be better than this. I gotta go get it. I gotta put everything I wanna be.
The Crimson Butterfly flutters again, guiding two sisters into one of horror's most haunting tales, Fatal Frame 2. Crimson Butterfly Remake brings back the story of Mio and Mayu Amakura, twin sisters lured into a cursed village that does not exist on any map and where the night never ends. With only the mystical camera obscura to defend themselves, they must face vengeful spirits that drift through empty houses and narrow paths, their rage tied to rituals long forgotten. The remake goes beyond visual polish, adding a small but powerful detail. Mio can now hold Mayu's hand during key sequences, a mechanic once cut for technical reasons. This single feature heightens their bond and intensifies the dread as you feel the fragile connection between them in a world where even touch can be stolen.
収集要素も増えているので、シリーズファンの方にも新たな楽しみがあると思うとなっています。シリーズ2作目のリメイクなんですけども、このシリーズはそれぞれストーリーが完結したタイトルですので、この
From the harsh survival chaos of Palworld comes a gentler offshoot, Palfarm, a cozy farming life sim where the creatures you once fought beside now help you nurture the land. Instead of building fortresses against the wilderness, you cultivate fields, raise pals, cook meals, and craft a life of calm routines. Your companions aren't just pets. They water crops, haul harvests, and share moments of quiet joy as you build a home together. But this isn't all soft edges. Palfarm retains a playful bite, with occasional defense events that force you to protect your farm, and hints that weapon mechanics might return in lighter, tongue-in-cheek ways. Multiplayer farming is confirmed, letting friends join in to sow, reap, and relax together. step into the fragile mind of Junko, a reclusive young woman whose reality is fracturing under the weight of her own lies. Broken Lore. Don't Lie takes the horror universe of Broken Lore into psychological territory, placing you in a cramped apartment that slowly unravels into liminal, dreamlike spaces where walls bend, eyes watch from the shadows, and truth itself is unstable. One unique twist is Fantasy Boy, a retro side-scrolling game Junko plays to calm herself. At first, it's a harmless escape, but gradually, its pixelated innocence seeps into her waking world, where the bright chiptunes warp into something far more sinister. Gameplay mixes exploration with stealth and limited confrontation as you search for memory fragments, hide from distorted hallucinations, and attempt to hold on to a crumbling sense of self.
まただ、あの変なかゆみ。誰？
A poetic journey unfolds in Demi and the Fractured Dream, an action-adventure inspired by Zelda, but carrying its own heartbeat of melancholy and wonder. You play as Demi, a voidsent, cursed by the void, yet also empowered by its darkness. Guided by a mysterious voice, Demi must confront three monstrous accursed beasts that threaten to consume the dreamlike world of Somnus. Each region is richly distinct, from golden desert spires to mist-draped marsh kingdoms, blending environmental puzzles, platforming, and void-tainted enemies that test both reflexes and wit. Combat is fluid and deliberate, built around timing and risk. Dodging at the right instant unlocks devastating void-empowered strikes, while charms allow you to shape builds with spells, tools, and physical power. Drawing inspiration from the legacy of Parasite Eve, Parasite Mutant is a sci-fi horror RPG that drips with dread. You play as Nova, a psionic agent sent to investigate an abandoned island city, but what begins as reconnaissance becomes a desperate struggle against grotesque mutants and a creeping threat inside her own identity. The combat system, ATC or Active Time Chains, blends real-time action with strategic timing. Players must carefully choose how to spend 3 segments of energy, whether to dodge, store power, or unleash a devastating chain release. This creates a rhythm of tension and release, forcing careful planning in every encounter. High-octane magic collides with gunfire in Spell Trigger, a third-person shooter where you wield a weapon that fuses firearm mechanics with arcane power. You step into the role of Vivian, a warden magus armed with the Spell Trigger itself, a weapon capable of unleashing bullets, spells, and devastating chained abilities in fluid combat. The story follows the spread of a sinister force that blankets humanity in a creeping wave of sleep and mortality, threatening to end the world in silence. Gameplay is fast and stylish. You fire enchanted rounds, weave spells between shots, and chain abilities into devastating combos. The game features both solo play and multiplayer co-op, allowing wardens to team up and tackle missions that dive deeper into the lore of the Magus Order.
We are the Magus Order. Our duty is to guard the balance of this world.
The game that defined an era of immersive sims is being reborn. Deus Ex Remastered, handled by Aspyr alongside Eidos Montreal, aims to preserve the groundbreaking RPG while bringing it to modern players with a full visual overhaul. Dynamic lighting, sharper textures, reworked models with proper lip sync, improved physics, and modern rendering breathe new life into its cyberpunk world of conspiracies, biotech, and shadow governments. On top of the facelift come features fans expect today: autosave, faster loading, cloud saves, ultra-wide monitor support, and achievements. It isn't just nostalgia polished, it's the definitive way to revisit a classic.
And consequence. No 2 playthroughs unfold the same. Deus Ex Remastered arrives on PS5 early next year.
The bizarre and brutal world of Let It Die returns, but this time with sharper teeth and no safety nets. Let It Die Inferno abandons the original's free-to-play system and instead embraces a full roguelite structure. If you die, it's over. No retries, no pay-to-continue mechanics. Instead of climbing a tower as in the first game, Inferno drags you downward, plunging circle by circle into a vision of hell. Each descent brings new dangers. Rival raiders, savage beasts, and grotesque horrors lurking in the firelit dark. The tone remains chaotic and strange, with previews calling it singularly weird, true to the series' DNA. Survival action mechanics keep the fights fast and tense, while the roguelite format ensures every dive feels unpredictable. Launching December 3rd on PS5, Inferno redefines Let It Die not as a grind but as a gauntlet, one where the only way forward is through flames and madness.
You are truly our... my...